To just give a counter argument or a different perspective, we have in studio Pavania Pillay, organizer of TakeBackWits movement, with Pete Khaudi. Thanks so much for joining us. Just your reaction from what Mzwanele was saying, that they're not going to move until these demands are met.
You know, I think they're not understanding the ramifications that the whole country is going to be subjected to if we do not complete this academic year. And to say that lectures did not go on at all is completely incorrect. I myself had a lecture. Yes, we had to be locked in. And then thereafter, a couple colleagues of mine had lectures where I manned the door to make sure that their lectures could go through. I think it's totally unfair that students who want to learn are being totally not recognized.
Yeah, we know that there was a mass meeting of students today, Peter,
Yes.
you of the argument that there is a certain level of arrogance or stubbornness, even on the part of students or those that are calling for fees must fall, that doesn't enable an environment for conducive engagement.
Well, that's true. Earlier during the day in the morning, there was a meeting outside Great Hall steps, which was told that the intention is for free education and the university is going to be put at risk and nothing is going to be put forth. And this leads to lack of engagement, and there's no conducive environment for dissenting or opposing views, or even students are not allowed to say, here's a different way to reach this goal. None of us here, even all of KWO, saying that free education is not a noble cause. Yes, we all agree with that, but then the procedural input that FMF has put in place has endangered a lot of the students, halted students' rights to an education and safety and security.
Yeah, and this has obviously created a division and tension among students, and on your part being marginalized as if you are not supportive of the call for free higher education. So how do you manage those dynamics in saying, guys, we also have a constitutional right to complete our degrees and to graduate while we are in support of what you're doing, just not in the methodology?
You know what, we've tried reaching out to Fees Must Fall and more importantly the SRC, who's supposed to represent all views of all their students, no matter what constituency they belong to. But yet there's this intimidation, this fearfulness, this bullying. I saw it myself when Pete, before I even met him, was speaking out to, why can't we resume classes? Why can't we just go back and still keep this battle going?
You also mentioned that the police, as much as they've been criticized for using disproportionate force, that the students, in your experience, have also been provocative in being the first ones to pick a fight with police. Talk us through that.
Basically, the police have been put in a very harsh predicament. They have to ensure that students are exercising their rights to an education and in a safe environment. At the same time, they have to ensure that other students have their right to protest. Now, there's no reason that those two should be mutually exclusive. Those two things can happen at the same time. The police are trying to impose law and order, obviously. People are wearing masks, walking into classrooms, kicking people out. I had my law clinic today, and we were kicked out of the law clinic. It was shut down after class, and there was nothing that we else could do. We don't want to increase the violence, so we let it be. We take our bags, we walk out. These are the issues that the police are going from place to place within the schools trying to actually remove. And there's actually been an agenda pushed by Habib saying that he sent an email indicating that students are allowed to come write. Those who had previously been told that they could not write because they didn't finish their fees, they are now being able actually to write. So Habib is showing concessions and he's willing to engage. As to the question of saying people, when they were saying Habib doesn't want to actually engage in these issues.
All right, so what is really at play here? Is it just anarchy and making the institutions ungovernable for something that is not immediately attainable, and particularly because there had been a pledge or a gesture in good faith that says we commit to these particular amenities, but there seems to be a resistance from the students. So what do you think, Pavania, that what is really at play here?
I think there just needs to be more appropriate dispute resolution. There needs to be more compromise, you know. We're seeing, you know, from where Wits management started and how they've come, they're willing to compromise. I sat in on meetings with the SRC and with stakeholders, and I didn't see the same compromise on their side. In order to go anywhere where you have a deadlock, you need to be compromising in certain things. Yes, we all support the cause for free education. We just need to come to the game and do it while respecting all students. We need to have a universal approach. You need to think of students who can't get in and students who are currently enrolled.
Let's just cross over to our reporter, Nomusa Pongola, who is at Wits University at the moment. Just from our panelists here saying that they refute some of the arguments made by the Fees Must Fall movement in saying that they themselves are stagnating the process by not being open to management's gestures. What's your view, Nomusa?
Well, thank you so much, Cindy. But to elaborate more on the students not being fully cooperative with the management, I have Nontobeko Nkosi to explain more to us. Nontobeko, the management is saying that they want to sit on the round table with you, but the students are not cooperating. They've even gone as far as saying that they have met with some of the students, and it's just this group that doesn't want to cooperate. What's your take on that?
Thank you very much for the question. So with that, when they say that they've met in the round tables and stuff, number one, it was to discuss the assembly that we're supposed to have. So that's some of the meetings that they've had with student leaders. Also today, the meeting that they had was to open the grade hall. You can recall that earlier today, students threw stones at private security. And that was because students were agitated by the fact that Solomon Mahlangu House was not open. We walked here, we asked the dean to open for us so that we go to Solomon House, as it's always the meeting place for every student here on campus. We're asking them, please open for us so that we move in. And then the dean says, okay, let me confirm, and then you guys will go in. We keep students, we sing to just buy time. But 30 minutes later, there's still nothing happening. And we do tell the dean that students are getting agitated. Students are going to start throwing stones. And we do not want the repeat of the previous week to happen again this week. So could you please help us before people get agitated? I mean, as student leaders, we can only do so much. We can be there to lead people and say, let's go to this place and that place. And when we're here, we're saying we're going to Solomon House. Can they open it? They didn't. And that's when students started firing with stones and all of that. And then the police came in to disperse us and everything. But also later in the day, after dispersing us from here, police start shooting fire grenades inside our own residences. I was at Sunnyside, that's where I live. I was at Sunnyside there assisting people that were affected by fire grenades outside Sunnyside. And now I'm inside. Girls come screaming out. They're crying. They're saying that their eyes are burning, their faces are burning. And we're asking why. And they're saying there are fire grenades in the corridors. So at this point, I'm like, where exactly do they want us to go? Because we're here outside. They fired us. We're inside our residences. They fired us. At this point, I think that the university is really killing students. That's what they're doing. And students coming now here to fire rocks at police, it was because of the agitation that they got from that side where they were shot at inside a residence.
Nontobeko, just a little bit, can you tell me, we understand that the students have drafted a funding model. Is it possible for you to share with us what that funding model encompasses, and how do you plan to, or how is that funding model going to work?
Okay, so with the funding model, what is there is, number one, to show the whole nation that free education is feasible in South Africa. While the government and the institutions, they go on and on about how free education is not feasible in South Africa, with that funding model, we're showing the whole country and the whole world that free education is feasible. And number two, we're not only asking for money or resources to fund free education from the government, we're calling on private sectors to come also to pitch in and help us, because we understand that it's not the government's responsibility alone. We need the mining sector, like we went to Chamber of Mines the other week, where we're asking for them to pitch in as well. So there's so many things like corruption, the money that's spent in corruption, we see that no, we can actually use that money towards funding for free education. So at this point, with that funding model, really is to show South Africa that it's feasible, and to show also government where they could go, because at this point they're failing to look at the places where they could actually get the money.
Okay, tell me, Nontobeko, will there be a time or a point where as students you are saying it's fine, it's enough now? We are compromising the shutdown. We are moving back to classes regardless of free higher education being pronounced or whatever. We are just compromising because this has gone long enough.
I think that would be a very bad decision to do at this point, because we have wasted 3 weeks into the struggle. So it would be that going back to class without having anything in our hands, then why were we protesting for 3 weeks? We've lost out on school for 3 weeks. And how people around us saying that we as people that are protesting don't want to go back to class, we don't want to write exams. We do. We really want to. And that's why we keep on engaging with the university. We keep on asking them, Mr. Habib, could you please come speak with us? Could you engage with us so that we will find a way forward? We need the institutions to help us in this. We're not fighting the institutions, but then now they are making themselves the bigger people that we're fighting. We know, we're not dumb. We're not saying that we're going to get free education from this university or UCT or UKZN. That's not what we're saying. But we're saying because we're on this campus, because we need money to fund us in this institution, could the institution help us into making sure that we go and get funding from the government and all of that. So right now we just need the institution to declare that no, the school is going to be shut. We're helping you guys, not just on paper that we're helping you. We need to be on not non-working days. It does not make sense at all. And then on paper it's there, but really is it here? And that was evident on Saturday when they didn't come here.
Thank you so much, Nontobeko. Well, there you have it, Cindy. Students are not willing to back down at any moment, saying that they have lost so much time into this struggle. So therefore, they will not be backing down or going back to class, because it will mean that what they have done for such a long time was just fruitless. All they want is that Habib engage them on one-on-one, not through media or not through the spokesperson, Cindy.
All right, Nomosa, thanks so much. Of course, we know there's issues of protocol, but we'll get responses from our panelists. Let's quickly take callers now. Johannes, you're calling us from Secunda. Itu in Pretoria, we see you. Hello, Johannes. Hi, Johannes. Itu Meleng?
Hello?
Okay, I think our callers lost their patience there. But very quickly, just your
Hello?
reaction.
I'm still on the line.
Oh, hello. There you are.
Yes.
What is your
I'm
view
sorry,
or
yes.
question, Itu?
Yes, Cindy, can I comment?
Yes, please, go ahead.
All right. The issue which I see as the level which the strike is now on, it happens that we have got some incident which happens of the destruction around the environment around the university there. And that is leading right now to the objection of the people who are affected there. So we must know that in every revolution, there are some casualties. In every revolution, we have seen the revolution from 1986, 1980, and those were very intensive. So we must know that the children must also know now. Some of those people who are affected, their businesses, they can also be objective against them, and in fact also support maybe firing shots from their place into the students.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to let you go. We're seriously out of time, and I need to afford my guests just last word of reply there, Pravania, and in the way going forward. And I mean, I don't even know if what Itu is saying has any bearing, because in '86 was a completely different regime, and whether we can take on those kind of factors to where the fees must fall protest has gone. So what are your words in conclusion, especially in light of resumption of the academic year?
I think we need to realize that students' constitutional rights are being completely disregarded. And in terms of our constitution, we should be united in our diversity. And we should really look at what is a justified cause of limitation of a right. It needs to be a law of general application.
Okay, and do you have the critical mass in support of those that want to go, or rather continue the academic year?
Well, it has been clearly indicated in the poll that was instituted by vets that 77% of the students who actually voted in that poll indicated that they would like to return back to academics. And the fact that the leadership of FMF and SRC are not taking this into consideration to even deliberate or try to engage those students on an intellectual basis indicates that they're not really representing the students.
Okay, we're going to have you back again.
Oh, may I just interject one moment?
Sure, very quickly.
We're having a mass meeting for anyone who's in support or curious about Keep Wits Open. It'll happen tomorrow evening at 7:30 p.m. We invite parents as we see them as stakeholders, and it will happen at the Holy Trinity Church on Stimmons Road.
Okay, got that. We'll put that on our website as well. That is Pavania Pillay, organizer of Take Wits Back movement, together with Pete Khahudi, just giving us their side of the impact that this has had on the desire for other students to complete their academic year. We'll take a quick ad break. We'll see you shortly.